Capricorn, welcome to your bonus part 2 of your weeklies. If you want to see the weekly reading, please go down into the comments. It's pinned down there, so you'll be able to see what the reading was according to these cards that we'll be seeing a little bit later on. We're going to do a clarification today of those cards according to the vibration from the sun and what's been happening with the sun's vibration. We did do an energy update on Somatic TV on our sister channel, which is linked in the description below, and went into basically how it's affecting your chakras, how it's affecting the vibrations of the world around us, and also the elements and qualities within your sign. And we're going to go into that and see how that connects with the cards that you will be able to see in front of you. So the vibrations that have been coming through, it's been making the water element, so the emotional side of life, a little bit sort of flatter, almost like that we're not engaged emotionally in life. The thing is with that if you do get triggered emotionally, it risks to turn to steam very quickly, and we tend to get can be very emotionally charged, as it were. So you have to watch out for that, Capricorn, because you're a false sign, like your opposite Cancer, but also like Sagittarius and Gemini. So you're an earth sign, but you've actually got more water than you do earth, but that's within inside you. So and there's a lot of air. So Capricorn is a very interesting sign because it's got pretty much 25, 25, 25. 25. How many times I said that? It's meant to be 4. Yeah. Your elements are pretty much the same across the board. And you're the only sign that does that. Cancer comes close, but you're the only sign that does that. And it can be, Capricorns can be perceived to be boring. I know they're not, they're not. But, people can perceive them to be like that because they're very logical and emotionally profound, I would say. Simply because of all of that water and that air that is inside of your flower. You do not have any earth inside you at all. So you're relying on that earth which is on the surface. So we tend to do a lot and we work. That's that earth factor of us. And it's the surface stuff that tends to come out. But behind that, there's huge amounts of emotions. There's a huge amounts of reflection that goes into the Capricorn. You do have that fire as well coming through you, and it runs in from your spiritual sort of side, but then does run up right through the center, going up through petal 6 and petal 10 on your flower. So let's just see. We haven't actually gone through the rest of them, have we? So the other elements, Earth. Earth has been very compact and concrete, which has been good, I guess, for work for you, Capricorn, at the moment. You've kept your head down and you're just plowing through. For the fire side of life, it's been very positive, very buzzy, very passionate, very childlike passion in a way, and on the air side, the air has been very logical. So there's been a lot of logic. And this is probably where the crux comes in for you this week, Capricorn. So that air has been very logical, bit detached in a way, certainly emotionally detached and relying on the logical, but that can become wearing by the end of the week. So it's something you've got to be aware of from, I would say, probably about Friday. But it will depend on how the sun has been reacting over this week, and it'd be good to sort of see on the Instagram of Somatic TV or on this channel here, the Astroflower on our Instagram, because we do regular updates with according to your flowers and signs and etc., according to the vibrations that are around us. It'll also according to your rhythms within you, of what age you are and what you're going through, because there's very particular times of life that affect us in different ways. So without further ado, let's pull your weekly reading. Here it is, and we've got your sign, your flower next to it as well. And now you can see all of that in the center there, all of that water air combination. And this is the thing with Capricorn. Capricorn will look at things logically, and then they will also investigate the emotional side of that logic. They are the connection between the sea and the earth. They are half goat and half fish. They connect between the two. So I would say more sort of connect between the earth and the sea. And so there's this whole sort of duality within Capricorn where we're investigating and exploring the philosophy of life in regards to the mental and the emotions. And it's a constant battle for Capricorns to marry those two sides, the logic and the emotions, within them. And then how do they express it in the world around them? So at the moment, I think your logic or your mental vibrations are causing you a little bit more of a problem than they should be. And this is where we get the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords on the physical side. And it's going to be what is really going on for you is right in the center, which is that Emperor's card. And it is marrying those two sides, that emotional side of life with and the physical side of life. So that's body, mind, and spirit. This is what you're trying to marry it all. And if you look in the center going right through you, you have that mutable earth and mutable water and mutable air on the Chariot. So emotionally on relationship sides, you will be a little bit too mental, and it's difficult once you get into that mental side. You do create those headaches, which is in the 5 of Swords. You get involved in inner conflicts that that may not necessarily be good for you, and it's sort of maybe leaking out in the world around you, and your guides are sort of certainly dealing with a lot of that. But you do have below that the 7 of Swords. Now that 7 of Swords is based upon at its base, it's got mutable air and cardinal fire. And as that Chariot's going on really quickly and that mental side is really, really steaming it, those two elements at the base of this are providing you with lots of scenarios about life. And they may not actually be true because it may be you creating a little bit too much of the headaches by the sounds of things. Don't forget who you are. The King of Pentacles, and that's where the universe is trying to influence you. And you're going to have to marry that side between your emotional and your physical side, that Emperor's card. The thing is, you know that. You know life. That's why you've got above that the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is like a teacher or a religious priest. He has really good understanding. His pathway of understanding or learning is a straight path. It's very logical, leading to enlightenment. And he's happy to take that journey because he knows where he's going. And that's very, very Capricorn. But that comes out of the base of this flower where you've got the Chariot and the Temperance on one side. So although life is going really quickly emotionally, you've got to keep your cool, which is that fixed air on that side. Keep your cool and flow through and keep going and trying to manifest the physical world that is around you. And I did say that on petal 4, where you've got the 9 of Swords, which is not a great card either. It's all about sort of worry and sleepless nights, as it were. I think that's where the universe is trying to provide that logic coming up through you to sort of say, look, don't worry about so much. Leave it, let it lie, as it were. Let the universe take over and allow you and free you up that space to do a lot of manifestation, which you may find difficult at the moment, because the petal with the Magician in it has got 2 fixed waters and 1 cardinal earth with a cardinal air at the base. But it's going to be difficult to manifest things. And I think that's going to tie into that 10 of Swords And it's that realizing that to marry that mind, that body, mind, and soul together, you're going to have to realize that if you want to manifest certain things in your life, you've got to allow your logic to be applied to that. So if you go off into your logical, emotional side, you're not going to be free flowing. You're not going to be able to surf that wave. You're just going to, if you're going to be rigid on it, the wave will swallow you up eventually. And it'll feel like that. It'll feel very painful, that end of that journey of why is life not working precisely as I so wanted it. And it's going to come. It's definitely coming through. But this week here, you just need to centralize yourself. And once you centralize yourself from the 20th, I would have thought life is going to be a lot better for you. Because in that central petal, you do have that fixed air with mutable fire. And that leads up into that crossing point between the Empress and the Hierophant, which is a crossing point of air and fire. So it's going to make, you're going to be passionate about life. You're still going to have that passion about life. And I think it's things on the outside. I think it might be people that you used to be involved with that just, they seem to linger around you, as it were. So it might be, shedding things off from your side, but it is mainly how you disengage your mental air in order for it to work perfectly. Okay, so there you go, Capricorn. This week here, the end of this week is disengaging the logic and the mental side. Just do not allow your mind to overthink things, because you will end up doing things a little bit too rash. Okay, and you need to be a little bit more sort of disengaged emotionally with everything in order to see that logic clearly. Once you've subscribed here and click that bell, you will be able to get notifications for those readings coming up on the 20th. And I think that's going to be a lot better for you, because the base of your flower and the way it runs through you is certainly looking good for the future. Okay, so in the meantime, Capricorn, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.